CONFAB. And as I said before, the little I could glimpse from that CONFAB, it talked about 18 states. It didn't talk of region. So, but what Mr. President is saying up to tomorrow is that there are certain water plants that you could cultivate and get people engaged. The KB model is between two AP states, Lagos and the KB state. If you go there today, you marvel at what is going on. You marvel that the money being generated in KB is more than the federal allocation to KB state. I think that's why our government is saying we must diversify our economy. That today, in 2015, when we came to power, the federal revenue, the non-oil, was 39. Within 1 year or two, we have brought it to 47, 8% differential. So this is what we're looking at. We're not saying we will come to superstructure restructuring, but let's start with the substructure. Let's lay the foundation for Nigerians to be happy, because all the outcry is because the governors and their radios and other means of communication in their states will tell them, the federal is holding you to the balls if you don't get out of the federal system.
If you just allow me to just come in here, do you think that the call for secession will die off? Because it's not the first time that they're calling for a sovereign state of Biafra. As a matter of fact, this has happened repeatedly. Do you see it dying out once and for all?
My brother, luckily for us, we should thank Nigerian state and the Nigerian people. When the followers of my younger brother, Nandi Kalu, made him spring leader of Igbo people, those other leadership in Igbo started fighting back. We warned them earlier. Don't encourage this young man who had no fixed address in England, who just returned like a refugee. They encourage him, but we're happy now since they have coronated the man spring leader of the Igbos. Those who are the leaders of the Igbos are now worried that the best are coming home to roost. So it had always been a fringe agitation. It had not been the majority opinion of the Igbos. Please get that right. So don't take it as if it's the majority of the Igbos are saying that. I'm telling you that the Igbos voted in Abacha conference against region. They voted in Obasanjo conference of 2005 against region. They voted in Jonathan conference against region. So, for God's sake, let's understand the propaganda.
Just quickly,
they don't want Mr. President. They are looking at 2019. If they do not drum this kind of drum, the Nigerian people will be seeing the gradual investment in people's life that is taking place. The critical infrastructure that will change Nigeria's life.
Mr. Ketchuk, I'm going to ask you quickly, what do you think is the cause? I mean, do you think right now that there is actually a real rift, or is it our imagination between the executive and legislature?
Not a rift per se. It's just that, you know, throughout the history of the world, when there's hunger, a demagogue, Hitler, came to power through election. Don't forget that. How did he come to power? Because there was hunger in Europe. And he started playing up on people's sentiment, the baseline. We are this, we are that. We are the Germans, we are superior. We cannot be hungry with anybody. It's even the Jews that are our problem, the Catholics, the this, the that. That's what they're doing. They are seeing that if they allow the germination of the seeds being sown by President Muhammadu Buhari, that the APC will continue to favor the Nigerian people, and the Nigerian people will be favored the APC.
It's a little confusing. The members of the National Assembly, are they not some of your party members?
They are, in a way. When they started going around to shop for PDP people, some of us warned.
Okay.
Warned.
So
we said this shopping is not very helpful.
Even though your party seems to be in the majority in the National Assembly, you think that somehow they're still in the minority, or you think that your position
No, they're not in the minority.
Over?
They have got the propaganda. It is a dosage of propaganda that intoxicated some of them. It's not that they are enemies. They are not. We are very close with most of them. But we want them to understand that if you know what Mr. President is looking for, that thing is real, is pragmatic, is incisive, and it is long and enduring. That the transformation of the critical infrastructure is what developed Europe, is what developed China. China did not start doing anything outside the world until they developed their critical infrastructure. Same is the Japanese. When they lost the Second World, they went home and looked into critical infrastructure. What do? They thought of the modern rail line. It's not the old rail line. They thought of the ICT that could employ millions of people. If you go to Ministry of Communication today, if you know what Barrister Shitu is doing with his boys, they want to do University of ICT. They want to do smart cities. And these people are holding back to the funds.
I'm afraid that's why we'll have to leave the conversation. Thank you so much for coming on Sunrise Daily. We've been speaking with Osita Okechukwu, who is the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria. Sunrise Daily will continue in just a moment. Please stay with us.